We're going to go ahead and do some yoga because that's what we're here for. So getting centered, please sit tall. I recommend sitting on a couple of blankets or a cushion. Just help elevate the seat. When the seat is elevated, we can sit comfortably for longer, usually. Whenever you found your seat, sit tall, shoulders relaxed, crown of the head lifting, and let the eyes close. Taking a breath in and out. Just beginning to turn off our awareness of the outer world and turn on our awareness of the inner world. To tend to this body, this mind, this energy. And please bring your awareness to the sensation of your breath in your nostrils. It tends to be cooler as you inhale, warmer as you exhale. You may also notice that one nostril is partially blocked. That's okay. Notice the feeling of the breath at your throat. And then notice the feeling of your lungs filling with air as you inhale, the lungs emptying of air as you exhale. And as you're aware of the lungs filling and emptying, you'll notice the body moving with that rhythm, expanding and contracting. You may even sense some movement down into your belly. And then there's the sensation in the rest of your body beyond the breath, the heart beating, the digestive organs functioning, the circulatory system, blood flowing through your system. Feeling yourself sitting, resting here, tuning inward. And we'll continue to tune inward to our inner experience, whatever that might be from moment to moment with the rest of our practice. So go ahead and take a deeper breath. Bring your palms together, bow the chin, and honor yourself just as you are in this moment, this body, breath, this energy and mind. And it's in service of all of that we will practice here tonight. Rubbing the palms together, create some heat. And take the warm palms over your eyes and brushing over the top of your head, down your neck, bringing yourself back to your space. Welcome back. And we're going to start on our backs tonight. So if you do have a cushion, just move it off to the side for now and come to lay down. Coming to lay down. And take your time getting there. But once you're there, have your feet flat on the floor, heels underneath your knees, about hip width apart. And your arms can rest down by your side to start. And we'll start with some arm movements. We'll add onto it here in just a few moments. Connecting to your breath. With your next inhale, please lift your arms all the way overhead, knuckles touching the floor above you. And then exhale, allow the arms to reach overhead and back down again. And then again, inhale, lifting the arms all the way up and over. And exhale, the arms coming back down. Just feeling that range of motion in the shoulder joints and some extension through the arms. moving with your breath. Let's do a couple more with just the arms, okay? Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Now we're going to add on to this. Keep moving the arms in the same fashion, but with your next inhale, pick up the hips as well. Press your pelvis toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, release the arms and hips back down at the same time. Inhale, arms and hips lift. And exhale, arms and hips lower. Please continue lifting on inhale, lowering on exhale. Just moving in and out of bridge pose. And we're going to add a level of mindfulness to this. So essentially, you're doing the exact same motions, but you just want to sync up how quickly the arms and hips are moving. And so the moment the hips touch the ground is when the arms touch the ground. And the moment the hips come to their fullest height is the moment the arms are all the way overhead. Again, when the hips touch the ground, that's when the arms touch at the same time. And then when the hips come to their highest point, the arms are all the way overhead on the floor above you. Just see if you can sync up that movement as best you can. Okay, let's just do a few more, starting to warm up the spine here, the low back. Now take your time getting there, but as you lift into bridge pose this time, arms all the way overhead on the floor above you, and hips raised, go ahead and stay. And please breathe while you stay here, feeling the pelvis lift. And there's also a slight back bend in your upper back, the chest coming closer to your chin. Relax your jaw. Inhale. And exhale, release the arms and the hips on down. Feel sensation for a moment. Good. And then please hug your knees into your chest. Good. Just maybe feeling that for a moment. That kind of feels good. And we're going to do some work for the core tonight. So take a deep breath in here, and with your exhale, curl your chin in toward your throat, bring your forehead up toward your knees, and the shoulders lift off the ground as much as you can. Stay up for your inhale. Then with your exhale, release the shoulders and head back down. Stay down for your inhale. So we're just moving on the exhales. Exhale, chin to throat, forehead lifts up, curling up as much as you can. Stay up for the inhale. And then exhale, release the shoulders and head back down. And stay down for the inhale. Exhale, curl back up again. Stay up for the inhale. And exhale, curl back down. Let's do a couple more, all right? Chin to throat, forehead lifts, exhale. Stay up, inhale. Exhale, release down. Stay down, inhale. And then exhale, curl on up. Let's stay for more than just one inhale. Let's stay for a few breaths now. Really feel the core engage, pulling the chest toward the thighs, forehead toward the knees, shoulders lift. Breathe, breathe, breathe. 3, 2, deep breath in. And exhale, release the shoulders and head back down. Take an adjusting breath here. Good. Now keep the knees drawn into your chest. Take your arms out to the side, making a T shape with your body. You could also do goalpost arms here or cactus arms. Just try to keep the shoulders grounded as much as possible. So knees are drawn in toward the chest as close as possible. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, allow your knees to fall to your right side and turn your chin to the left. And then inhale, come back to center, and then let's go the other way. Exhale, take the knees to the left and chin to the right. Inhale back. Exhale, first side, and don't let the knees collapse. They stay hovering the entire time, core engaged. Coming back, inhale. Exhale, twist to the other side, turn the head, and back. And we're just going to keep going from side to side for just a bit longer. Twist, and back, twist, and back. All right, keep going. Feeling that rotation in the spine. Let's do one more time on each side. And then bring the knees back to center. Hug them into your chest again. Deep breath in and out. Feel sensation. And then bring the feet flat to the floor again. And you're going to bring the feet together. Take the knees wide. So it's reclined butterfly. So the feet are together, knees are falling open, and your heels are as close in toward your body as you can manage. And that'll look different in different bodies, so just do as best you can here. Your arms will stay down by your side this time, and we're going to come into what I call butterfly bridge. So with your inhale, press the pinky edge of the feet into the floor, lift the hips into the air, press the pelvis up, and then exhale, let the hips float back down. Let's do that again. Inhale, hips lift. And exhale, hips lower. Please keep going. It's okay if this isn't your fullest bridge pose. Moving with the breath. Let's do a couple more. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. Good. So as you come into butterfly bridge this time with the hips lifted, go ahead and stay. And then this next move, your feet might separate, and that's completely fine, all right? But if you can, keep the feet together, the soles of the feet together. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, squeeze the knees together, keeping the hips raised. And then inhale, take the knees apart, keeping the hips raised. Exhale, squeeze the knees together again. Inhale, take them apart. Hips stay up the entire time. Exhale, squeeze them together. Inhale, take the knees apart. Squeeze. Inhale apart. Let's do two more. Squeeze them together. And apart. Last one. Squeeze it in. Then inhale, take the knees apart. Release the hips on down. And extend your legs to the floor. Let's just feel sensation for a moment. Might not have felt like it, but your lower back absolutely loved that. Both helping to strengthen it and also just pump fresh fluid to the sacrum and lower back region of the body. Good. And then please bring your knees into your chest once again. And then bring the soles of the feet together again. And this time, reach out and grab hold of the shins or ankles. Some of you with longer arms might be able to hold the pinky edge of the feet. You're going to draw your feet, the arch side of your feet, in toward your belly. So not just straight in toward the groin, but up a little bit and then down. And breathe. Try to relax the hips. And while we're definitely guiding the feet in toward the belly, don't pull yourself into it further than your body's ready to go. The hips really don't like being rushed, so we take our time with them. Just another breath or two here. Good. And then release the feet, bring the knees together, hug them in. All right. Go ahead and roll to your right side and come on up to a seat. Feel free to hydrate if you need to. So you're going to have your feet forward. And for this one, recline down onto your elbows. Okay? So just leaning back. And the elbows are underneath the shoulders or just slightly further back. And they're about shoulder width apart. You don't want the elbows to be splayed out to the side too far because that's not that stable. And we want to stay stable here. That's what we work for. And then bring your knees into your chest. Now, one thing that happens immediately here for many people is we just start to kind of slouch, like the shoulders kind of slouch here. Lift the heart. Press the heart up as high as you can, engaged in the chest. I know this is harder, but you signed up for this. All right. Flex the feet. Inhale, extend the legs toward the ceiling or as high as you can, and then bring the knees into the chest. Inhale, extend the legs. Exhale, knees in. Keep going. Inhale, exhale. We're going to add on to this. Take the knees up, inhale. Exhale, take the heels forward, extending down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knees to chest. Keep the heart lifting. Inhale, lift the legs. Exhale, lower the legs. Inhale, lift the legs. Exhale, knees to chest. Legs extend. Take them forward. Lift them up and bring them in. Up, forward, up, and in. Let's do one more time. Up, forward, up, and in. Good. Bring the feet flat to the floor. Take an adjusting breath. But we're not done yet. We're going to do one more exercise here, all right? So again, try to keep the heart lifting as much as possible. And I know we've been here for a moment, so there might be some fatigue happening, but we'll get there. This time, point the toes away from you as you bring your knees into your chest. And then extend your right leg up toward the ceiling. Take the foot forward, then pull it back in, and then switch into the other side, the other leg. Same motion. So we're making these big bicycle circles, this big pedaling forward with the legs. And we're breathing, and we can start to pick up the pace a bit if you want to, but keep the heart lifting. And we're just going for a stroll. And we're breathing about it. Keep going. 3, 2, and 1. Reverse. Backpedal, because we have to go back to where we started because that's where the car is. And, we don't want to be stuck out here all night. So just keep backpedaling, keep the heart lifting. We're breathing about it. We're almost done with this. 3, 2, and 1. We're back at the car. Take the feet flat to the floor. And you can just release down onto your back, slide the elbows forward, and just take a break here for a moment. You might feel heat in your body, the core, the hips, the legs. Noticing sensation. Beautiful. So take your time as you come back up. You can roll to your right side if you'd like to help that transition along. Good. All right. So let's come on to hands and knees. We haven't been here yet tonight. Hands under your shoulders, knees beneath the hips or slightly further back. Inhale, look forward, please. Exhale, round the back, go all the way to child's pose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, back up. Curl the toes under this time. Downward facing dog. Good. So it's our first down dog as well. So go ahead and walk it out a bit. Press a heel to the floor. Bend the opposite knee. Feeling length in your legs and spine. Just noticing sensation wherever it's at. What feels tight, what feels open, what feels good, what doesn't feel as good. All of it's welcome. Deep breath. Good. Inhale, float down onto hands and knees. Exhale, child's pose. Good. From child's pose, go ahead and slither forward down onto your abdomen. And bring your hands under your shoulders, so they might need to slide forward a bit. And then roll the shoulders down the back. Inhale, lift the head, chest, and legs. Locust pose. Exhale, release down, turn your head to a side. Inhale, lift back up again, head, chest, and legs. Exhale, release, turn the head to the opposite side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release, turning the head. We'll do a few more. Locust pose. And down. And up. And down. Coming into the pose this time, stay. Heart is lifting, inner thighs are lifting behind you. Breathe. Elbows stay bent. Using the muscles of the lower back to stay lifted here. 3, 2, lift up a bit higher. And 1, slowly release on down. Good, all right. So from here, we're gonna stay on our bellies for a little bit. Go ahead and come onto your elbows. So we'll start with Sphinx Pose and then we'll add on to it after that. And so your elbows are just a bit forward of your shoulder joint. You're going to press the forearms and the hands into the floor, lift your chest. You might even feel some extension in the belly and look forward. And then feel your shoulder blades, traction down your back. And try not to jut the chin up too much. You're looking straight forward. You should feel this in your upper arms and your shoulders, extension in the front of the body, the belly. Feel the shoulder blades cut down the back a bit more. Soften your eyes, just relax them. Good, all right. So try to maintain some of this lift that we have here. We won't be able to keep all of it, but some of it as you cross your right arm in front of you. Right arm crosses in front, which frees up your left hand to do something else. So you're going to bend your left knee, bring the heel in towards your seat, and then reach back and grab, if you can, the base of your toes. If not, you might grab the ankle, but the base of the toes is best. Good. So what happens when you do that is that your left hip bone pops up off the floor. So consciously, with an exhale, you have to roll that left hip bone back down. Good. And then from there, you can draw the left heel in towards your left hip. Now, your left thigh is going to have a lot to say about that. So just, soothe it Ask it to relax. Take deep breaths with it, or anywhere else that you might feel tension here. Take deep breaths to it. Keep the left hip grounding. Keep guiding that left heel toward the left hip. One more breath. Now, when you release this left foot, don't slingshot it. You want to do so carefully release it and let it take its time coming back down to the floor. The left arm can come in front of you again. And take a snapshot here, just the difference between the two sides, the left thigh, the right thigh. And even if you didn't like that pose, there's probably a difference that's pretty noticeable, which makes it worth doing the other side, at least to get that balance back. And so your left arm can stay across in front of you, helping to keep the chest lifting a bit here. And then bend the right knee. Reach back with the right hand and make a connection. Again, it could be the ankle, ideally the base of the toes, but do what you can. Now the right hip bone pops up off the floor here. So roll the right hip down, and then from there, guide the right heel in toward the right hip. And we breathe. We breathe into whatever we're feeling. If this feels good, breathe into it. If this feels uncomfortable, breathe into it. It also might feel good and uncomfortable at the same time. Still, breathe into it, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're feeling. Keep the right hip bone grounding toward the floor. Keep the right heel guiding in toward the hip. Just another breath or two. Now, again, when we release this foot, we don't slingshot it to the floor. We slowly release it. You can cross the right arm in front of you. You could even release down onto your chest. Maybe your forehead comes onto your arms for a moment and just feel sensation. If there's anything going on in your lower back, we'll counterpose that, I promise. Good. All right. So sliding the hands back underneath your shoulders, go ahead and curl the toes under. Push up to hands and knees, and we're going to come into down dog. So lift the hips into the air, maybe walk the feet forward a couple of inches, and then bend your knees more than you normally do. Nice kind of mid bend, if you will. And then shoot the hips powerfully toward the ceiling. This is helping to give you more extension in your spine, which is great to do after deep belly back bending, which is basically everything we just did. Take deep breaths. Good. Inhale, float down onto hands and knees again. Release the feet. And child's pose meets you here. Seat to the heels, forehead toward the floor. All right. Inhale back up to hands and knees. From hands and knees, step your right foot between the hands. Help it forward. Good. And then you're going to interlace your fingers on top of your front thigh. Relax the shoulders down the back. And this is going to be a subtle movement at first. So with our exhale, we're going to sink a bit deeper into the hips or into the pose. And then inhale, just pull out a little bit. Then exhale, sink back in. Then inhale, pull out a little bit. Exhale, sinking in. Inhale, pull out. And as you're pulling back, there's a slight engagement of the muscles of the pelvis to help that along. It's not just the leg or the hip that's working here. You can pull at the pelvic floor here. This is helping us to get into some of that tight, subtle tissue in and around the pelvis and hips and groin. Good. And then sink as far forward as you can. And then bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. So what can happen here sometimes, and you can't really see it on camera, but I'll describe it to you, is that the forward knee, the right knee in this case, wants to stick far out to the side, wants to kind of move out to the side. Try to keep it more central. It can go out a little bit, but just don't have it fallen over. Good. Feeling the stretch in the hips. The next thing to note here is that sometimes we start to collapse in the shoulders. Keep the spine extending, so pull the heart away from the floor, maybe even look forward slightly, shoulders down the back. I know this makes it way easier, doesn't it? Breathe. Keep that right knee guiding toward the center line of your mat. Good. Now, before we go to the other side, go ahead and straighten your right leg. Pull the toes toward you. Your right hand can come to the outside or right side of your right foot. And just allow the heart to kind of bow toward the right knee. Nice stretch for the back of the right leg. Okay, inhale, rock forward. Go ahead and sweep that right leg behind you. We'll come into down dog to adjust before we do the other side. But then we will do the other side. So floating back down onto hands and knees, please bring your left foot between the hands, helping it forward. And then feel the hips sink down and forward, coming into your lunge. Okay? When you're ready, go ahead and come up onto the thigh, interlacing the fingers here. And we'll do that subtle work in the hip once again. So sinking forward and pulling back. Sinking forward and pulling back. And again, there's a slight engagement of the pelvis and the lower core here to help this happen. Now we're, of course, doing this nice pulsing motion for the hip. You want to make sure that you keep the shoulders in alignment. So the shoulders are guiding down the back and you're looking forward. Again, sometimes we can hunch up here. Keep the back of the neck or the sides of the shoulders, the sides of the neck, I should say, nice and long. So much to keep track of. So much. Let's do a couple more. Good. With your next exhale, sink as far forward as you can and bring both hands now to the inside of the left foot. All right, so immediately you might start to feel something. So just feel that. The hips still sinking down and forward. Breathe. And then become aware of the upper body in this posture. You want to feel length in your spine, the heart pulling away from the floor, shoulders guiding down the back, And again, you might even be looking forward slightly. And breathe. Just like on the first side, it might be tempting for this left knee to want to really shoot out to the left. Try to keep it guiding toward the midline. It can go out to the side a little bit, just not too far. Breathe into it, whatever it is, whatever you're feeling, whatever is uncomfortable, whatever is comfortable, just breathe with it. Good, all right. So when you're ready, go ahead and extend, take your time with it, the left leg. Pull the left toes toward you, flexing the foot. The left hand can come to the outside of the leg if you'd like to. And then feel the heart bowing, or bowing in this case, toward the left knee. Deep breaths into that. Feeling the back of the left leg lengthen and stretch. Good, all right. Then go ahead and rock forward and sweep the left leg back. Again, we'll come into downward facing dog. Feeling length in the legs and spine, a nice symmetrical posture after all of that asymmetrical work. And then float down onto hands and knees, child's pose, release the feet. And then come up to hands and knees and look toward the screen. I'm going to demonstrate this next exercise really quickly here. So this next one is actually simple in practice, but there's some things I don't want you to do in it. So I have to demonstrate it for safety purposes. So it's called rabbit pose, and I think many of you have actually done it with me before, but repetition. So we'll start in child's pose. Again, I'm demonstrating. You'll bring the top of the forehead or the hairline to the floor. Now, I'm not going to effort too much in my shoulders or in my arms at all. I'm going to think about lifting and lowering my hips. And so I'll lift the hips and rock to the top of my head, and then release the hips, rocking back to the top of the forehead or the hairline. And then I'll just keep going back and forth, massaging the top of the head into the floor. Now, what I don't want you to do is to go further than the top of the head. It's going to be really tempting when you get to this point to want to keep rocking forward. And I'll be honest, it feels amazing until tomorrow morning when you realize you strained your neck. So we stop at the top of the head for safety. Don't go any further than that. You're still getting a great release. This is great for tension at the back of the neck, which you can build up if you have tension headaches, if you are a jaw clencher. This is a savior for you. All right. So be gentle with yourself. We'll practice for a little bit. Coming into child's pose to start. And just relax your forearms down and bring the top of the forehead or the hairline to the floor. Now, if you have a top knot, you might want to take that out for this one. But when you're ready, lift the hips and rock to the crown of the head or the top of the head. Then exhale, release the hips, coming back to the top of the forehead. And then just keep going back and forth. And the head stays on the floor the entire time. Don't pick it up and scoot it forward. Relax your jaw, shoulders. Rocking forward and back. And this can sometimes have a soothing or grounding effect on the nervous system. So if you notice that quality starting to arise, just notice it. It's okay if it's not happening too. This could have the complete opposite effect for some people. Now we're going to continue to practice for about another 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how it goes. And you can keep moving in and out like this. Some of you may want to just stop at the top of the pose and just hold it. But if it feels really good going in and out, keep going in and out. The good news is there's no wrong decision here. Just pick one. All right, so no matter which version you're doing, go ahead and release to child's pose and stay. Notice how it feels to come out of that exercise. All right, from here, go ahead and walk your hands back, coming up to a kneeling position. And then we'll come up onto our knees and take your time stepping to standing. I know it's kind of far from like head on the floor to standing up, so be careful with yourself as you do that. All right, beautiful. So once you are in standing and you feel ready to move on, go ahead and take a wide stance on your yoga mat, toes pointing directly forward to start. So even pigeon toeing slightly. All right, with your inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. With your exhale, swan dive, fold forward over wide legs. Inhale, reverse that, come all the way back up, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sweep all the way down. Just some nice movement for the spine. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Good. A couple more times. And then inhale all the way up. And release the arms on down. Good. We're going to do some flowy movement with the spine now. So allow your left arm to relax down on your left leg. Inhale, sweep the right arm up and over. Inhale, come all the way up. And just go to the other side. Right hand down. Inhale, left arm reaches up and over. Exhale, return, feeling the spine stack. Inhale, right arm over. Exhale, back up, and just keep going, swaying from side to side, reaching to the side on inhale. Exhale, coming up. And you can go slowly if you want to. If you feel called to go quicker, do so if that's within your practice. You might find that one side of the body feels more flexible. That's pretty normal, especially in the shoulders. Just a couple more times, just giving some love to the spine and shoulders and neck here. Also the hip attachment, because we're extending the entire sides of the body. And why don't we stay on one side? It doesn't matter which one, but just land, extending to one side. Roll the top shoulder back, looking up a little bit. Reach through the fingertips, feel that heel ground to the floor, energy moving from the heel all the way up through the side of the body into the arm to fingertips. Reach. Good. Then go ahead and come up and just go straight to the other side. Bring the other hand down. Top arm goes up and over. Again, we're holding and roll the top shoulder back a bit. Look up if that's comfortable. Feel the fingertips extending. Feel that back heel, whichever one's extending, you're extending from. Feel that one grounding to the floor. It's almost like you're reaching in both directions. Big length on that side. Good. Then come all the way up. Whew. And feel sensation, all that big energy on the sides of the body. Feels so good. And then for a symmetrical pose to kind of tie that together, lift the arms up again and exhale, fold over wide legs. We're going to stay in the forward fold for just a little bit. Soften the knees, don't lock them, and relax the shoulders, the neck, the head, the arms, the mind. Relax it all. Good. Then go ahead and sweep the arms out to the side, come all the way up, reach, and arms down. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more exercises with the legs wide here, but we're gonna change the stance of the feet. So what you can do is you can take your heels and just cut them inward so the toes point outward about 45 degrees or so. Or you could have just turned your toes out too. Toes out 45 degrees. Make it happen. All right, so we're gonna actually take the arms out to the side and then turn the hands toward the ceiling. So cactus arms, as we call it. Good. Feel the shoulders glide down the back. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, bend both knees, and the knees are guiding out over their toes, coming down into goddess pose. Then inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up. Exhale, cactus arms, bend the knees, sink down in. Inhale, reach the arms up, straighten the legs. Let's keep going. Down and up. Reach. Exhale and up and down and up. We're going to keep going, all right? Feeling this in the hips, feeling this in the shoulders. Let's do a couple more. Good. Now we're going to sink down into goddess pose, bend the knees and elbows, and please stay this time. Again, knees are guiding out over the toes or toward the toes. The heart is lifting as the hips sink down. And breathe. Relax the jaw. Relax the face. Almost there. Good. Then inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up, and relax the arms on down. Good job. So whichever direction of the mat is your front side of the mat, go ahead and turn that way and step forward. Good. And let's just fold forward here. Standing forward fold. Surprisingly, we haven't been in this pose at all tonight. And relax the shoulders again. Knees are a bit soft here. Release the head. And then from here, please carefully step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, floating down onto hands and knees. And child's pose once again. Seat to the heels, forehead down. Good. All right, then go ahead and bring yourself up. And we're going to turn over onto our backs. So take your time getting there, but flip on over. Good. So we're going to kind of start to wind down where we started, which is with bridge pose. So heels underneath the knees and take your arms overhead. We're going to leave the arms overhead for the entire part of this exercise. So no movement of the arms. They can just hang out over the head. Pressing the feet into the floor. Inhale, lift on up to bridge pose. And then exhale, lower down, but lower down one vertebrae at a time in order, slowly releasing down, articulating through the spine. Hips are last to touch the floor. And then inhale, reverse that, tuck the tailbone under, roll up into bridge pose, a single vertebrae at a time. That might take more than one breath, but just do your best. Rolling down a single vertebrae at a time, moving slowly, and then rolling back up. Now, if it feels like it's too much to have the arms overhead, you could take them back down by your side, but keep moving the spine in this way, rolling up and down. Let's do just two more. Last one. And as you roll down this time, go ahead and stay. Good. And then you can move the arms out to the side. Bring your knees into your chest. And again, if there's furniture nearby, you could do cactus arms instead. But take a deep breath in. With your exhale, allow the knees to fall to your right. And they can relax to the side this time. Just let them fall down there. But keep them as tight in toward the chest as you can. Or toward the armpit, probably is a better cue there. Now feel your left shoulder ground, your left elbow ground, and turn your chin to the left as well. And the right hand, if you want to, it can rest lightly on top of the left thigh, encouraging but not forcing the twist. And let's just breathe here. Good, all right. So with your next inhale, carefully bring the knees and head back to center. And then just knock them to the left. Take the knees to the left, chin to the right, ground the right shoulder and elbow as much as you can. And the left hand can rest gently on top of the right thigh or knee. Settling into the pose on this side. Okay, so bringing the knees back to center, hug them in. And for our last pose before we come to rest, bring the soles of the feet together again and hold on to the shins, ankles, or pinky edge of the feet. And just draw the feet, as before, draw the feet in toward your belly. Knees going wide, taking deep breaths into this posture. So when you feel complete in this posture, please extend your legs down to the floor and make yourself comfortable to rest here for about 5 minutes or so. The toes can flop out to the side, your arms can rest by your sides. Bring any support where you might need it. A blanket under the head, you can cover up with a blanket, you could turn down the lights in your space if you want to. Make yourself ready to rest. And as you come to lay down, go ahead and take a deep breath in and sigh it out audibly through the mouth. And if that felt good, do it again. In through the nose, deep breath in. Exhale out of your mouth. And feel yourself relax deeply, knowing that for these next few minutes, there's nothing that you need to do. It's your permission to rest. And if the mind needs something to do, which is fine, its job then is to watch the rise of your belly on inhale and watch the fall of your belly on exhale. Inhale, belly rise. And exhale, belly falls. Your mind riding the current of your breath. peace, peace, peace. So taking a deeper, fuller breath, please. Begin to make some gentle movements in your hands and feet, your arms and legs. And rolling to your right side. And then rising up to a seat. All right, so bringing your palms to your heart, go ahead and lower the chin. Taking a deep breath in and out. And just have gratitude for all of the work you've done here tonight, honoring your presence, your practice, your patience. And may all of that effort and this practice continue to serve you. So until next time, namaste.